Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle of my own creation. This is a puzzle I made a few months ago called Bleached Coral that I ended up not really releasing anywhere. I think I put it up in testing, and a few people tested it and responded saying it was a nice, fun little puzzle, and then I completely forgot about it. It was in my setting list, and I never published it anywhere. And the reason I've dragged this one out is, as I've mentioned before, there's a whole bunch of work being done on a new pack, which is something that we're planning on releasing maybe late July or possibly in August, which is going to be based around the killer constraint, similar to what we've done with March of the Quads with quadruples and with Polarizing Sudoku, which is the current pack running. Links will be everywhere on the odd even or the polarity constraints. So we're playing around with what we can do and what we can discover with Killer. And this was one of the ones where I was playing around with Killer interacting with Palindrome. And as I said, I did this a few months ago. I don't remember anything about the puzzle, but I thought it would be a nice way of turning around and saying, we're currently working on a killer pack, where we're going to hopefully do a whole bunch of puzzles which are just killer puzzles on their own, to help people learn a bit more about killer, including me, because I struggle with killer a lot, and I've got something else in the works on that as well as killer interacting with other constraints, because I always find the interaction of two constraints to be very, very interesting. And I find packs based where you have one constraint that people can explore, and those interactions with others is a very cool way of doing it. So that's the plan. If you're a setter and you want to be part of it, reach out to either myself or to Riff Clown, who can put you in touch with how we can make this work. If you're not sure how to do that, then jump onto the Sudoku Solvers Discord below and jump into the Bremster discussion channel, and I can point you in the right direction. There are a few other people who can do it. So yeah, reach out to people and we can get you involved. If you want to be involved in testing or you're after more information, please reach out. But if you are interested, please do so. But for now, let's have a look at this puzzle, Bleached Coral. As I said, I remember nothing about this puzzle at all. I forgot to publish it. That's how much I remember about it. I did look at some of the comments, and as I said, that it was a cool puzzle. But yeah. So what do we have here? We have normal Sudoku rules apply. So once again, in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Now we have the killer constraint, which is in these cages, the digits that are placed in the cages will sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. So these two cells will sum to 8, these two will sum to 11, these three will sum to 14. Then you've got these lines. These lines are palindromes. And what that means is if you were to grab the numbers that are put onto these lines, they would read the same in either direction. So if this was a 1 and a 3, I know that doesn't work for the killer, I'm giving an example. If this was a 1 and a 3, then this would have to be a 1 and a 3 so that it would read 1, 3, 3, 1, whichever direction that you read it in. And that's the way this works. So let's give this a shot. So, I mean, the obvious thing I can see here is we can start with some killer stuff. So we know that an entire box of a Sudoku contains the digits 1 to 9, and that if you add those together, you get 45. You can do that math yourself. But what we have here is that all of these two cages here, sum to 44. So this digit right here has to be a 1. And we can actually take that a little further, because those two cells sum to 8, so those two cells sum to 8. Those two cells sum to 8, so those two cells sum to 8. So those 4 cells there sum to 16, but those 5 sum to 25. So that there is a 9. I'm not sure whether I'm actually going to need my killer calculator for this. Probably. Actually, almost certainly I am bad at killer, which is why I'm wanting to do a killer pack so I can get better at them. So we've got 1 and 9 out of the way. does that put any pressure on this? Eights, eight. So eight can be done in three ways. And these have to be different because they're those, and I can't use 1, 7. So these are either 2, 6, or, whoops, I'm in the wrong mode, 2, 6, or 3, 5. So these are 2, 6, or 3, 5, which means these have to be 4, 7, and 8. And 4, 7, and 8 does sum to 19. So these here are from 4, 7, and 8, which means these are from 2, 3, or 6 in order to make the 10 cages, which means these are from 2, 3, or 6. Huh. So, do they interact yet? I don't know. Four, seven, eight, 2, 3, 6. 12. So this is a 12. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, I think it's more interesting over here because this is an 8 cage, so that is also an 8 cage. So what you've got here is 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 9 is 20. Hang on, 16 plus 9 is... I told you I was bad at math. 25? So these have to sum to 20? That's not as useful as I was hoping. But this is also an 8 cage. And this is a 12 cage. That's... Yeah, I vaguely remember something about designing this so that cages would be moved. But I'm not sure how to use that. So a 12 cage here. So what about this 11 cage? This can be 8, 4, 7, 5. That's all that's possible. 8, 4, or 7, 5. Because I can't use 9, 3. So these are 8, 4, 7, 5. But does that interrupt this? Because if this is... Nine, 3, then this becomes 6, 2. Sorry, if this is 9, 2, then this becomes 3, 5. And what does this become? This becomes 4, 8. I think that's okay. If this is 8, 3, so 9, 2 here seems to work. If this is 8, 3, I'm probably doing this a bad way. Doesn't matter. This is 8, 3. This is 6, 2. And that's 7, 5. If this is 7, 4, that has no value. So this is not 7, 4. So this could be 8, 3. And if this is 6, 5, that has no value. So this is 9, 2 or 8, 3. missing something here. So this 9 cage is replicated here. Is that the way I need to look at it? These sum to 23. So rather than replicating the 12 up here, do I replicate the 11 down here? Because there must be a 2 or a 3 in here. Because these are 2, 3, 8, 9. Does that interact with that? Hang on, there's a virtual 2, 3? No, there's not. This could be 5, 6, I think. Wow. What did I do? What I did is I forced 1 into one of those. Because 1 can't be in any of those, so 1 can't be in any of those. 1 can't be in those, so 1 can't be in those, and that one sees that. So this 1 sees all of those. So 1 is in one of those, so 1 is in one of those. But I don't think that does much. Hang on, 1 can't go in any of those. So 1 is up here, so 1 is over here. 1 must be in one of those 3, 1 must be in one of those 2. 1 has to be in one of those for the row, and I cannot put 1 in any of those because of all of those restrictions. So 1 is in one of those 2, so this 8 cage is a 1, 7. So, wrong mode. This is 1, 7. This is 1, 7. So there's no 7 over here. So that is a 12 cage. So that's not 7, 5. So this is not 7, 5. This is 4, 8, which takes 8 out of these. So that's not 8, 3. This is 2, 9. That takes 2 out of here. So this is not 2, 6. So this is not 2, 6. This is 3, 5, which takes 3, 5 out of there, which takes 3, 5 out of there. Now this 9 cage can't be 1, 8, can't be 2, 7, can't be 3, 6. This now has to be 4, 5. And that 4, 5 makes that the 3 and that the 5, which makes that the 3 and that the 5. I would say this is very clever, but that would seem to be self-serving. This 2, 9 makes that the 6 and that the 2, which makes this a 6 and this a 2. This is now a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an 8. That's not a 1. This is now a triple. 1, no, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. That is not a 3. That is not a 6, and that is not a 9. They're in the middle of a palindrome, so they do not help. But these are 1, 7, and 8, and that can't be 1 or 7. So that is 8. That is 8. These are not 8, so this is 7 and 1 and 1. That 3 takes 3 out of there, which takes 3 out of there, which takes 7 out of there. That gives me a 4, 8 pair in the column, but there's a 2, 9 pair here. So this is 6, this is 4, which makes that 8 and that 4, which makes that 8 and that 4. This 6, 4 makes this 6 and this 4, which takes 4 out of both of those. That 8 makes that 7 and that 8, which makes that 7, which makes that 3, which makes that 3, which makes this 1, which makes this 7, which makes this 1 and this 7. It is a bit self-serving to call this clever, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 go in there, and they're resolved by that. So that is 7, that is 6. 1, 2, 3, and 9. And that 3 resolves it. That is 9, and that is 3. So this is 1, 2, 4, 5. So that is 2. And we're left with 4, 5 there. Okay. So these are 4 and 5. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And they're resolved. 7 and 8, or 8 and 7. This is a triple. 1, 3, 5. That's not 1 or 5, so that's the 3. And there's no 3 there. Okay, so this is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these are 2 and 9. And now I'm going to have to start doing some killer on this stuff. Now, 1 is in one of those 3. 2 is in one of those. 1 could be there. In fact, 1 has to be in one of those as well. So this is what's going to be interesting, I think. Not sure how to break into the bottom of this puzzle. So 9 either has 1 in here, or this is 2, 3, 4. And it can't be 2, 3, 4 because it sees 2, 3, 4. So this has to have a 1, or this is 2, 3, 4, and it can't be. So there is 1 here, there is no 1 there, there is no 1 there. So there is 1 in one of those two. 1 is not there or there. So 1 is in one of those two, which means that's not the 1 and that is the 1. Now, 18 without 137. I could look that up, but I don't really want to. So this is 9. So it's either 1. So I need 2 digits that sum to 8. So I've either got 2, 6, which seems to be possible in that order. 3, 5, which I can't do. So it has to be 2, 6, because the other one, next option is 4, 4, which is blatantly going to break Sudoku. So this is 2 and 6. So those are in. Now, 14. So 3, 4, and 5. So 3, 4, and 5 won't get me there, because 3, 4, and 5 is 12. So I need 2 more. If I skip 3, what happens if I don't use 3? I have 4, 5, and 7. 4, 5, and 7 is 16. That doesn't work. I must have a 3 in here. 3, 5, and 7 is 15. That's too many. It's 3. So it has to be 3 and 4. And 3, 4 is 7. I need another 7. So this is 3, 4, 7. Okay. So there's no 7 there. So there is a 7 there. This is me trying to get better at killer, and I'm sorry if I'm slow at it, but that's the way I am. This is a 3 or a 4, and it's not a 3. So they're the 4s, and that's the 3. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. That's the 5 because of the 8 and 9 directly above it. That 8 makes that 9, which makes that, I'll finish this first, that becomes 8. The 9 makes that 3, and that 6, and that 9. The 4, 5 is now resolved by the stuff below 4 and 5. This here is a 2. Now these need to sum to 8. That can't be a 1 because then that would need to be a 7. So this becomes the 1. So these sum into 8. I can't use 1, 7. I can't use 2, 6. I can use 3, 5, and 4, 4 is blatantly impossible. We know the order of the 3 and the 5. This is 8 and 9. and that 8 resolves the order. That is a 9, that is an 8. This 1 now makes this 5 and this 1. The 9 up here makes this 2 and this 9, which makes this 2 and this 9. This 4 makes this 5 and 4, so 5 and 4. The 9 here makes this 2 and 9, and now I seem to be down to a single box. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. 6, 8, and 4 is 18, so we're good. That's resolved. And these are 2 and 5. So we've got 2 and 5, and that finishes Bleached Coral. So if I was rating this for a pack, this would definitely be a walk in the park, and it would be a moderately easy walk in the park. So yeah, this is an introductory puzzle. I mean, well, maybe not introductory, but it would be a walk in the park. This would not rate anything higher than that. Probably a mid-range walk in the park. We do try and come up with some easy ones to make people feel very welcome. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that puzzle. I thought the break into that was cool once I spotted it. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't release it, but now I have. So yeah, if you think you would like to be part of making a pack with us, please join us. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the puzzle. I hope you enjoy the packs we release. And as always, good luck with your solving.